Hi, this is Jonna, and Darcy will be on in a second. And we are Scrappy Camper Sisters, and we are doing a kickoff for our Scrappy Camper Sisters Come Clean 2016. And there is a free sample of our printable of our ebook on our blog, scrappycampersisters.blogspot.com. And this is a sample that we have. So I wish my sister had her Skype on so I could talk to her, but we decided that we kind of felt a little overwhelmed by the amount of stuff we've accumulated over the years. I've been doing scrapbooking since 1994. I've always scrapbooked. And you're on? Why don't I have you on? Let's try. Oh, here, you're on now. Okay, so now you're on. You just came on. Sorry, about my arm reach. Okay, now I got her. And it's ringing. I heard you pick up. Hang on one second. I have to put speaker.
Okay, and I have to mute you.
Now I hear you.
Okay, cool. Can y'all hear me? Oh, I know. There's ads on Skype now. That was interesting. At least they know which ones to put on my thing.
Handsome men I can meet in Atlanta.
That was the ad that came up on Skype.
Oh no.
Who knew?
That's so funny.
Thanks, Eileen.
So if she goes MIA during the show, we know why. Oh, hey Glenda. So I just started to talk about how this all ended up coming to be, that we were talking about last year. So, well, one of the things that what was funny was that Darcy, for the last 2 years, kept saying that she's been organizing and cleaning her craft area. And it's been like, and I finally just said, what is taking you so long? I have moved my craft room like 5 times in that year. And we decided that, you just get it to the point where you kind of get overwhelmed and you end up not, you just kind of get overwhelmed and you push things around, or you get stuck in the mind trap of going down memory lane. And like that's my problem. My problem is when I go through like paper or my craft kits, I end up going down like memory lane. Oh, whatever happened to them? Like Dream Street papers, for instance. I used to love Dream Street papers and company. And so then I end up going,
remember Chatterbox? That was your other one.
Oh yeah, Chatterbox, and then Rusty Pickle, and like there's so many companies that aren't around anymore. And I didn't realize that they weren't around anymore till I forgot like who all I had. And so I'd like touch them, and then I'd be like, okay, so I go online, I find out what happened to this company. Oh, it got bought out, or whatever. And then, or you find out, and then I'm like, oh, what happened to this designer, like Elsie? And so then I go looking on the internet, and then I don't end up like cleaning my room. So yay, Ashley. So she's cleared her clutter. So
Ashley, feel free to post pictures on the Facebook group, if you want.
Yeah, so we were talking and last year about going ahead and getting set free from all this, because we found out that we had a lot of stuff taking up our spaces. And yeah, back away from my vintage basic gray. No. Dee Dee, your basic gray is safe with me. I keep my basic gray, my 7 gypsies. Those are like, and also, what is the sister one? The girls, Glitz Designs, the Glitz girls. Yeah, back away from those. I've kept those. And then
Graphic 45 Horde too, and Prima.
And I have and I've kept Rusty Pickle because they're not around anymore. And so I do have I have several of those. And what I decided I'm going to do, I've kept about 12 companies that are no longer in existence. And one of the things I'm going to do with them is I'm going to make a project for my room so that I can see you know, that paper line that I love so much. So yay, Rain! Rain says she has at least 6 boxes of paper to donate. That is awesome. So
Wow, you did, Ashley. She got rid of her vintage graphics 45. Well, we're not telling anybody to get rid. I think this is the frustration, and Jonna, this sort of prompted it too. Not to mention the fact that I've had to put everything in boxes and unpack it 3 separate times around here because my biggest issue is there's no place to do the staging. So I had to create a staging area, and I also actually am moving my whole craft area from one side of my condo to the other. So it's going to be a big ordeal. But when I was talking to Jonna about it, I don't want to redo my space 8 times in 2 years like she did. I want to do it once and for all, and then come up with a system for maintaining it. And that's kind of what started our discussion. And I also had a big problem with, you know, the typical organizing scenario of, do I need this? Will I use it? I don't know. I don't know if I need it. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but I want that option available. And then I'm constrained with a small space. So I think you're going to like our process. It's a little different. It's a different way of looking at things. And yeah, so it's going to be fun. We're going to use our stuff. We're going to create some space so we can use our stuff, right?
right. And that's it. You know, you just keep accumulating. And I like what Linda White Holloway just said. She said, "Dear hoarders, there will always be new and more paper to buy, so use it."
Yeah.
And it's true. So we have let me go through the beginning of the January and the process. There's some pages that'll be missing that are in the actual ebook. But for the free download, you'll get some of it. So,
I'm gonna have to mute when I type.
yeah, please mute when you type. I know. I love Eileen's idea. She's putting names in a jar, and when she gets a box full of it, she's going to be mailing it to them. I love that idea. So I know I told Darcy, I said to line up a bunch of, because she said as she started to go through her craft area and she started to box things up and clean things, she kept coming across things that she wanted to mail to people. So I'm like, go and get a bunch of those flat rate mailing boxes and put them together, line them up in a corner of your room, and put the name and the address already on it, like address it already. And then all you have to do is, as you find the person's name, as you find stuff for that person, then you just fill that box as you're cleaning. And so, I mean, some people could be more than that, but just pick like 5 names, 5 boxes. That doesn't take up much space. And you can fit 12 by 12 paper in one of the medium flat rate boxes, which is, it's $12 to mail. So, but you can fill it as heavy as you want. And they're like the flat ones that are like this big. I don't have one here, or I would show you which one I'm talking about. But there is one that the paper actually goes into, and you can send it to somebody. So, or support the postal system. Exactly. So anyway, or, you know, go visit someone and bring them, like Susan did to me. Susan, lover of ribbons, she came down to Florida and we met, and she opens up the trunk of her car and she actually packed this stuff in her car, and she brought me a bunch of things that she thought I might like, and I actually am using a bunch of the things that she gave me. She gave me some stamps that I can watercolor and things like that. And so because Darcy told her that all I had was that pitiful sunflower stamp when I went and did the watercoloring class. So she brought me some stamps, which I'm very grateful for. So now I have to go back and finish the online watercolor stamp class. So I know I got so tired of posting. Every card I made was with that sunflower stamp, because that's all they used were flowers. And then JJ's like, Jonna, you know, you can go and use a different stamp image. You don't have to use a flower. I'm like, duh. I don't even know why I didn't even think of that. So then the second time I took the class, I ended up taking it again because I wanted to like work on the different processes. I pulled out my other stamps and did other stuff. So anyway, some of you people, we know a lot of our friends like to color. So we opted to do it all in black and white so you could pull out your Crayolas or whatever you like to color with, your Prismacolors. And I'm sure Dee Dee has already printed it out and is already starting to color the girls in. But feel free to take the image and color. Have fun coloring it in. I won't be coloring mine in. Maybe I'll color it in with watercolors. So I printed out this one, but what I wanted to tell you is that we're going to have different formats. And what I did was I printed out, well, actually, I didn't have the time to reformat it into the A5 size. So this was personal size, but so I printed it out and I put it in my planner. So this is January. So I'm in January, and this is part of the printout. These are the printables. They'll be available right now. Currently, they're in the 8.5 by 11 ebook form, but we will have them for a Midori printout, a A5, and the personal size. So this is personal size, but I just cut it larger than for my A5 because that's what I'm working in right now. It's my A5 planner. So this month is January, and hold on a second. I printed it out there, but I'm going to go through on this one. So the first page, or one of the pages you're going to see, is it says, how did I get here? And then you're going to think about the steps of how you got here. So one of the things I told my sister, no, you don't need a planner. You can just print it out as 8.5 by 11. You do not need a planner. I just am trying to keep all my stuff in one place. You can work right from the book. And
girls, get ready.
yeah, planner girls. So anyway, oh, I know what I wanted to tell you too. If you go to our Facebook group, we started a Facebook group, Scrappy Camper Sisters Come Clean 2016. Sherry's one of our mods. Thank you very much, Sherry. You rock. And Carrie will.
Sherry's gonna get a free book, and she's getting a first story. I'm working on it now.
Yeah, Carrie will. We're gonna be sending stuff. Don't worry.
Sherry gets free stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so Brenda said her path started with Paula with Journal RT stuff.
Hey, Martha.
I know, it's so funny because, because when Paula was doing this, we already kind of had our process. We already had our process going, and I wanted to like, Darcy, hurry up, finish it so we can send her a copy so she can work through her room instead of me yelling at her in the chat. So anyway, join us on our Facebook group. I'll have semi-daily little prompts, probably not daily, I don't want to overwhelm you, but like clean out your trash can. They'll just have nice little reminders in there. I post some ideas that I find off the internet or off Pinterest or whatever, or different people's blogs, you know, so that like if you post a picture and you're having an issue and I know I've seen like something on Pinterest or I have an idea of how I can help you, I will. I've been doing organization for businesses, for offices. I just currently did a realtor's office, and so I've been doing a lot of office spaces. And my sister said I'm naturally an organized person. I don't feel like I've naturally been an organized person. I like.
Yes, you are.
I work better when my area is not cluttered. I just know that about me. So I just like struggle through it and You know, I've just kind of come up with different processes that work. I've kind of broken it down into, Darcy and I talked about this, how you either like, I'm a one step organizer. I like my things to be within one step away. Open a drawer, pull it out. I'm not real big. The things that I don't use all the time, I don't mind having in a box on a shelf. But my everyday things, or things that I use a lot, I don't really like having it in a box on a shelf. I'm not a piler, I found out. I don't like things piled. I'm more of a go through flipper. I like things like stacked and that I can flip through. I don't like things piled on top of each other. I'm not that kind of a person. Some people don't mind that, and they like things that are stacked. I don't like having to pull one box off to get to another box, to take the lid off, to open up the package, to put my item in, close the package, put the lid on the box, put the box back on the shelf, then put the other thing on top of that box so that it fits and gets it off my desk. Not me.
Yeah. I'm a open it, take it out, put it back. And some of the advice I got, if you're trying to decide, is think about how many steps you'll really do to put something away, not necessarily take it out. And if you have a lot of things out like I do, you may find that, you know, you're having a problem putting it away. And then that's kind of a giveaway to say, okay, why am I having an issue? And then you can change your system.
Yay, Dweety's a flipper. Okay, Jane's saying that drawers don't work for her. She likes things on shelves. But do you have it in contained? See, you don't have to have it in a drawer. You could have, like, I have open bins in my room. And if you want to see my room and how I have it organized, I have it up on YouTube, on our Scrappy Camper Sisters YouTube site. Sorry, it's a little wonky because I did it on my cell phone. So you might have to take a little motion sickness pill before you watch it. But it goes through, I show how I organize everything that I have. And so, exactly, Jeannie.
No,
Da-
the wall of tote bags is coming, Jeannie.
Darcy.
I'm moving to the other side of the room. I have this little jog, and it's just a small wall. It's probably only 3 feet, but it's high. So that's going to be my tote wall. I was all excited. I had to call. So Jonna got me a new tote for Christmas, going on the tote wall. But I wanted to tell you guys right now that Sandra did a really good job with this particular sheet right here, the How Did I Get Started? She didn't know that's what she was doing, which was kind of funny. And so what I want to do is I want to go grab the link to that video. It's probably still on her channel. And she and Jonna had a lot. Sandra is Scraps to Beauty by Sandra, by the way. She is here on Ustream, and she also has a blog. And when she started organizing her space, she talked about how she ended up with so much stuff. And she and Jonna had a lot in common in that they both taught classes in a local scrapbooking store, and they got a lot of free stuff, and that kind of started this ball rolling. So I will post my sheet for this on the Facebook group because mine started because of Jonna. I literally had like one under the bed storage bin, you know, that's literally what I had. And I did mixed media, so I had paint and things, but everything could fit in one bin. And then when she got me into scrapbooking and I fell in love with the pattern paper, oh yeah, that was bad. So that was one. The other one, this is crazy, Jonna, you don't know about this, but last night Laurel from New Jersey, so her name is Laurel from NJ. She has a YouTube channel with a lot of followers. She also broadcasts here with the same name on Ustream, Laurel from NJ. She has a beautiful large craft room now, and she's been organizing it. And she was on last night doing an impromptu stream, and I said, hey, what kind of advice would you have for people that are just getting started, you know, to work on their space? And she didn't know we were doing this because she was moving into this new big house, and she moved her parents in, and they all have their little spaces, and it's just beautiful. So she was actually going through this process. So her video is awesome. She recorded it. I'm going to link that too. I think I'm just going to post these links on the Facebook group because she did a really good job. But she said the same some of the things she said that I thought were really important were things like she had to get back to basics, and she realized that first and foremost she was a card maker, and so she started structuring her room around that. She also talked about what she referred to as collections. Like, she realized she loved Tim Holtz, but she doesn't always use all the Tim Holtz stuff. She considers it more of a collection. She likes to have it there. She likes to use it when she wants. And, you know, she has no intention of getting rid of it, and she intends to keep collecting it. And that's just one of the examples that she gave. So I thought it was really great. And I think that as we go on this journey, so, you know, we've always been really good with sharing links, having you post your links. And go ahead, by the way, if you're here and you've got a blog or a channel, go ahead and post that link to just kind of share, and we can all kind of do this together. So I wanted to let you know about that. And like I said, I'll post that stuff on Facebook today. Okay, proceed.
Oh, so I was just laughing about how I got here, and Darcy explained a little bit about that, like that I worked at a scrapbook store, and so, you know, they gave me all kinds of free stuff. I'd teach classes, kind of like Dee Dee Inkwell, the same thing that she went through. You end up with all these like 12 by 12 layouts, and I found out over a period of time that I can't keep up with the 12 by 12 layouts or the 12 by 12 project life necessarily. I don't have room, and you know, my sister and I, we were laughing because it's like, oh, you know, my house is on fire. Let me roll out my 8 bins of 12 by 12 albums. Like, seriously. And so, and then what I found out was life got busy and I couldn't keep up printing out photos and all that. And back then you had to, you know, you had to actually like send your film in or take your film in, and I just wasn't doing that, or I was and I didn't have time to put them down on the pages. So now I end up with a bin of beautiful pages because I taught them in class and they have no photos on them. So I've got like same thing that Xandra had, like all these mini albums with no pictures in them. I've got tons of mini albums with no pictures in them. And it's like, what do you do with these? And who wants these? And, you know, that kind of thing. And people say, oh, sell them. And I'm like, do people really want them? Because the product on them is like 10 years old, you know? But then I figured out there's a whole another generation coming up of people that are in their 20s that are starting to get involved in all of this, and they were not around when all those product lines were around. So how I found that out was I was doing a planner scope because I'm on Periscope, and so I was doing a scope and I pulled out some old Elsie stuff. I was pulling out my Christmas lines, and I found out that I had this whole line by Elsie. It was, I think she was like a designer for KI Memories or something like that, and who's no longer around. But so I'm like, oh my goodness, these stickers would work great. She had like the tabs and it was really cute and all, and everybody on the scopers are going, oh, where do you get that line? And I'm like, it's like vintage. It's not even around anymore. So, and then it hit me that these girls that are in their 20s that are starting to get all into the planner world and memory keeping and that, they weren't around when all these lines came out, and they think that they're cute. So, you know, so that's an option to take your stuff and, you know, sell it, put it on eBay if you have time or whatever. So, so anyway, yeah, Linda, I know you've inherited some things. That's like a little overwhelming too, because then you have the emotional attachment to it. I mean, that's going to be Darcy and I one day, you know, like, cause you go, okay, what did she have an attachment to, and how do I incorporate that into my art, you know? But anyway, so how I got there, that was the beginning of the process. And then my latest aha moment was, it's coupons. You get the coupons for Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and Joann's. And I live around like 5 miles away from like all these stores. And it's so hard to go, oh, that 50% coupon. Let me walk in. I'll just use it on adhesives, right? Okay. Or I'll use it on new. I know, Dee Dee, we're vintage. I know, we're vintage. And so at least we're not antiques. We're not there yet. We're only vintage. But so like you have these coupons and I feel like, okay, I'm just going to go in and get my $6 bottle of 3-in-1, and I get it for $3, right? Or $4 or whatever. So I walk in, and then there's the latest and the newest and this and that's on sale, and oh, and then you start watching like YouTube hauls on YouTube. I know you can't watch them, Brenda, and stay away from the dollar spot. Eileen's an antique. Funny. So Brenda, stay away from the hauls and stay away from the Target dollar spot, because oh my, those girls, those planner girls, they're gonna end up where we are now with our scrap stuff, our scrapbooking stuff. They're going to end up there with their Target dollar spot hauls and their planning hauls. They're going to end up right where we are. So anyway, so yeah, my sister wrote this. I thought this was funny. She said, coupons, I got here because of coupons. And it's true. You can't just walk out with your little coupon. So what I ended up doing was this is terrible, but I deleted the Michaels app, I deleted my Hobby Lobby app, and I deleted my Joann's app, and I'm walking away. And if I need to go for something, I can always reinstall my app and use the coupon and uninstall it. But I found out that pretty soon I walked in for my $3 item and I came out with like 20-30 bucks. And it adds up if you use your coupon every week. Those people are smart. Let me tell you, they don't spend all that money on marketing for nothing. So anyway, so yeah, so that's one of the pages in our book. The next one is, we talked about artsy passions. What do you love to do or make? What's in your heart? What's outside your heart that you're spending time on? And like, I can say what's outside my heart that I'm spending time on. It really is organizing, moving stuff around, and this really helped me come up. It's really making me think about what I love to do and how my art has changed. Darcy, do you want to talk about that? Because you really went in depth into this area about what you learned.
Oh yeah, this is painful. One of the reasons that I found I was having a hard time with the destashing, and not everyone has to clean out a lot of stuff, but I have a limited space. I don't have a garage or an attic or a basement. I don't have offsite, where I can put this stuff. So I really have to go through and figure out what's important. And what I found was the things that I love to do, for example, and I could always post this page as well, because I did go through this process. I love doing mini albums. I love doing Project Life. I love my planner stuff. I love doing the planner and the memory keeping together. A couple things, I love mixed media. I haven't had a lot of time for it. What I don't love, and this is my big confession, is I don't love building 3D objects with chipboard. I love the results, and I love, the ideas I get. But the process is very hard, and we're not getting away from our 3D mid-century modern paper crafting. We love it. It's how we started, and we're still doing it this year. Some of those projects are coming up. But I knew that I needed to streamline that process for me, because as you guys know, I spend hours and hours and hours on that. So that was one thing that was kind of important. And the other thing, and I apologize to people who I know are passionate about this, but I don't like making cards. To me, a card is a 4-page mini album, and it's a lot of work. So that was outside my heart. So what I did, and what you can do, is draw the things that you love, like the art journaling. I love doing art journaling. You do the art journaling. I love making things with vintage jewelry. Just all the things you love to do, okay? And then the things that you're doing that you're spending time on that you don't love. And if it's something that you kind of love, like I love my 3D projects, they look awesome on the shelf when they're done, then figure out a way to do that in a more efficient manner. And then if it's something that you don't really like to do, then come up with another way to do it. Like I like to do tags. I had posted a picture of what I call book cards, and some of you have received these. Yeah, it's because of the measuring, I'm sure of it, and the structure strips. But anyway, so I make these book cards. They're like a card, but they're a bookmark. And so, yeah, I love doing those. I want to do more of those. So Brenda says, My cards turn out fat, chunky, and expensive to send. Yeah, mine do too. Mine did. I like bumpy pages, I guess you'd say. So that's kind of my story, and that was the revelation I had, was that I was spending time, and then I would send racks, and I'd be like, oh, I gotta make a card, you know. So I bought some cards from other people, which was fabulous. At one point, when Jess was selling like packs of cards, I bought a pack from her a couple years ago, and those lasted me for quite a while. And then now my mom has given me some, so yeah, I love to send them. But what I find is that by the time I get that little rack bag put together, then it's like, oh, I gotta make a card, and then it's sick, you know. So it's good to ask yourself these questions, and it's okay. It's okay to like some things better than others, you know. So feel free to share on the Facebook group too about what you found out. I think, but those are the only two things I probably had outside the heart. What did you have, Jonna?
I'm laughing because Meg just came in. She goes, "We're supposed to clean out our craft room." Hi Meg. Hey Meg, I lost your address. I'm so glad you came in this morning. I need your address again. Could you email it to me? For some reason, I have had your pocket letter done for quite some time and actually is in the envelope and sitting on my desk. And so please help me get it off my desk and into your hands, please. And I would appreciate it. This not necessarily clean your craft space. For those that have to clean your craft space, this is a great process, but it's also just a good thing to look. It's also a process that will help you look at every area, like even in your kitchen or anything like that. You can apply the process to any area. Like, what do you love to do? And because I've been doing this in my kitchen right now, to be honest with you, because I find, and I know Darcy, you talked about that too. It's like I don't entertain for huge crowds anymore. But so why do I have like 6 crock pots? I'm not doing I'm not feeding the homeless downtown anymore. And so why am I hanging on to these? I don't need them. And if I need them, I'll just go back around to the thrift stores and pick them up for $5 again, like I did the first go around. So that all takes up space. But it's also about finding out what you love to do and finding a way to make more room in your life to do it. And I think for my heart, I was laughing because Darcy and I basically had the same kind of thing. I do enjoy making the 3D projects, but I got to the point where, okay, I'm not doing other people's 3D projects anymore because we were doing and we are going to continue doing our 3D projects because I love doing them. And I love the process of figuring it out, not necessarily the math side of it, but whatever. And but I do love how they look on my shelves. I love, I do love using them. And so I not necessarily is outside the heart. I just am not doing other people's unless I find something that like, wow, I have a use for it, or I'm going to make it and send it as a gift. It's a great way to knock out a paper pad. Let me tell you, you can knock out a stack of paper, just do a 3D project, and then, give it away to somebody who's not into it, will appreciate it and has room for it. That was the other thing Darcy and I talked about, because a lot of times when we've been doing our 3D projects over the last 3 years, we would send one away, someone would win it. And then it's like, what if that person doesn't want it or doesn't have room for it? Like, what's happened to all these projects that we have sent? Is it becoming a burden to the people that get it? Maybe they don't want it. Maybe they don't want to, display it. So that we had to look at also. And then also just keeping the things that give you joy around you, looking at like making your space look as creative as you are, enjoying it, and to try to be more productive. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I would like to be more productive. And it's like, what is it going to take for me to be more productive, to use my 15 minutes to create something instead of clearing off my desk? Anyway, so Cards, I would have to say, are on the outside. Those are more, I don't really enjoy too much of card making. And on the break, when I finish this first thing before we get to our project, I will show you some gorgeous cards I got it for Christmas. And I feel so bad I did not send out cards this year for Christmas. I just, yeah, I had a lot going on and couldn't get them done. So, oh, well, yay. Brenda won the duck dory, and so she said it's the main part of her life. Yeah. So anyway, so that's the artsy passion. So it's basically what do you love to do or make, what's in your heart, and what do you love spending time on. Okay, so January, and I'm gonna let me, how long have I been on for? Okay, I got a little more time. So let's go through the January month. So each month you're gonna have a printable, and what is this, or each month, this is in the printable, this is in the ebook. There's one for every month. You're gonna have a main theme at the top, and this January's theme is chipboard. And every month on the blog there will be a bonus project listed. So you'll have the project that we're doing. The project that we're doing for the month will be like announced. It's going to be on Ustream where we'll do the project. And then for every month there'll be a bonus project of if you're going to use it, or there's a section called use it or lose it. And if you decide that you're going to use it, then this is a new way of looking at that item, and at least not a new way for some of us, or a new way for Darcy and I to use that item and to use it up, and or use some of it, enjoy it, and then get rid of the rest. So at the top it'll give you the theme. It gives you a little monthly schedule so you can circle your deadlines and make a little note. You'll have a quote. This month's quote is, "Don't own so much clutter that you will be relieved to see your house catch on fire." I thought that was hysterical, Darcy. I hadn't read that one. That was pretty funny. So then you're going to have a mind map. So you're going to mind map it in this space. What's not working? And you're going to mind map it here. So like, I'll show you how I did this. And then, oh, let me see. Then you're going to put like your vision for the space. Then you'll have like a treat for the month. You can color it in when you, or put a sticker there when you get you finish it and you get to reward yourself. And then what your reward will be for the month in accomplishing your goal. So give yourself a reward every month if you accomplish it, you could even set up small goals, like just, and give yourself a reward for each thing. Like it might be just like admitting that you have a chipboard problem. Could be give yourself a little sticker. So
oh my God. That's hilarious, Donna. I could give myself a reward every month because I could admit I have a problem for each one.
I know, it's true. I did not realize that I had a chipboard problem until I went and did my 30-minute. I put on the vlog that, set your timer.
Robin?
Huh?
Oh, Robin said, "This is wonderful, Donna and Darcy."
Oh, yay. Okay, good. Yes. Yes, Dee Dee.
Dee Dee, it will be available with a link on our blog. I am finishing the final formatting. I just want all the pages to look consistent size-wise so that when you print it, I want it to look nice.
But you can get started for January. So
Look, Dee Dee, you've got a calendar at the top. So you don't need to have a separate planner. You can circle dates on that little month of when you're going to work on this. Isn't that cool?
So I think what's really cool is, Dee Dee, I was thinking about you too just now as we were talking about that, is that you could hole punch this, and if you did Dee Dee's idea book, you could punch this and put this right in that idea binder. Ta-da! I am a little fuzzy. Okay. I took off the
There's Laurel in the chat.
Hi, Laurel.
Carrie sent a link, Laurel, to your video. Dee Dee, if you still have the video up on your, it's probably on YouTube. where you talked about people who like or don't like colored pencil. And of course, for those of you who don't know, Dee Dee, our inkwell, is an extremely talented colored pencil artist. She does realistic portraits, and she that's one of her specialties is colored pencil. And she was talking one time about, if you don't like colored pencil, do what you love. If you don't like acrylic paint, do watercolor. Try different kinds of pencils and things like that. And it was really good. And I'd love to see if I can find that. And Dee Dee, if you can't, if it's not there, could you do it again?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear me because I'm bringing in a little more light because somebody said I was fuzzy. So hang on, I'm going to move another little bit of light over. I found that I'm not a big color pencil user. However, I have them because Dee Dee enabled me, and I'm easily enabled. I come to find out.
Oh,
But
yes, Lisa, you can. You'll be able to use the Bind It All or the Cinch. Right now, it's 77 single-sided pages. You can print it double-sided, but I'm kind of doing what John is doing. I want an art journal in it and decorate it. And I think for me, this is a creative journey too, not just, oh, my dogs. You want to get down, honey?
I just heard her growling.
I know, sorry. Dog and pony show again. But for me, this is a creative journey too. And I think that the revelations that you get along the way are going to be really helpful. Yeah, you'll be able to pay for it via PayPal. I'm going to post a link. I can't finish it right now. I really need to focus and make sure everything looks good. So, anyway, yeah. And then you'll be able to do your own. I'm hoping you'll use it to be like a journal or workbook of documenting your process. It sure will be fun to go back later and look at it.
And we included like little things that you can color in. So I don't know if you saw that. Like Darcy put in like there's some graphics. So if you like to color, every month you'll have like a little person that you can color in or an object you can color in. So feel free. The other thing you could do too is you can email the link to like Office Depot or to Staples. They can print it out and they can bind it there if you want it bound. But hole punch it, stick it in a binder.
Also, I printed mine, and of course I have to wait for my final copy. But when I was testing it, I did 2 pages on one. So if you turn the page landscape, Jonna, turn the page sideways. If you turn the page sideways, you can get 2 pages on there. That's how I did mine. So I really like that size.
Yeah, and I'm going to make one for my. I think I'm going to end up doing. I was telling Darcy, I think I'm going to end up doing it in my Dory, instead of because I think I want a watercolor on it, and I don't want to do that in my A5 planner. But right now I'm doing it in my A5 planner. so anyway, okay, so you get your chipboard. And then on the blog, what I'm doing is I'm giving you how to attack or dart every other month. It's one of us. So this month is me. So I put up there and it's on, I think it's 2 days back because I actually put it in last night, but then Darcy posted 2 times after me. So, but I put in there the bonus project. I have on there an organizational tip. I have in there a bonus organizing prompt or a cleaning prompt or processing prompt, and also I put on there my before and after of what I did. So chipboard, I did it before and after. So okay, so say you're going to work through this is what I did. Okay, so what's not working? My map it here. So I did a really sad face because I did my 30-minute. What I did and what I said on the blog was to set a timer for 30 minutes. And I ran around my room and I just quickly went through. And I'm sure there's more chipboard hiding in here somewhere, but eventually it'll come. But I just quickly ran through my room, pulling open the drawers, grabbed out all my chipboard. I had a set up a folding table in here, and I just started throwing it all on top of the table. I didn't even think. And that's it. When you're going through an item, like a, not an item, but a category. You don't want to think. You want to grab, you want to put it in a pile, and then you're going to attack it after you get it out. Because the first thing you have to see is, do you have a problem? I definitely had a chipboard problem. Who knew? I had no idea. But after I pulled it all out, and you can see the before and after photos on the blog, and I think I don't know if I Instagrammed them or not. I can't remember. But I have a ton. I cannot believe how many chipboard mini albums I had. I don't even do chipboard mini albums. Why I bought all these chipboard mini albums, I have no idea. I think because what started was Michael's always had them in the dollar spot area. And I thought, oh, they're cute. I'll do them as gifts. I'll do them. I don't even know what I was thinking. I had so many. If you go and you look at that picture, there are stacks of them.
Hey,
So,
Jonna,
yes.
show Carol what chipboard is. When we talk about chipboard.
Oh, okay. So, chipboard could be, hang on, let me get what I ended up whittling it down to.
I think one of the big things with chipboard, and of course we do the building, so we do have to have some chipboard, but in terms of like the chipboard alphabets, chipboard shapes, every paper line, a lot of paper lines come out with a chipboard, a little set of chipboard doodads, and that stuff can pile up. And then, of course, I think, yeah, the chipboard mini albums. Oh my gosh. Those go into the category of it seemed like a good idea at the time.
I know, exactly. Exactly. So our bonus project, let me get it because I'll show you the bonus project. It's on the blog. I'm not going to be teaching it. But I did do step outs. And one of the things I was trying to come up with a way I could use these all these little chipboard shapes, because I had some cute ones. Like I have a little teapot, I have a little purse, I had a little teacup, I've got a little car. So the car I'm actually gonna use and give them to a friend. I'm gonna do these little boxes and do a little storage unit for her.
Yeah, it's compressed chipboard, and it comes in different thicknesses, and it's strong. You can use it. Not as probably as strong as bookboard, although I guess the heavy stuff is, but you use it to cover albums and journals. You can make things out of it. Oh, it's different. Okay. What would you call that in the UK, Carol? Bookboard. Okay.
Okay, so bookboard. It's heavy. Anyway, so I made this little project. This is the bonus project, and
I just want to say something, because Linda White Holloway said she loves that little teacup. Okay, that's how it gets started. That's how it gets started.
Exactly. Because if you have the teacup, then I had to buy the teapot, right?
They are cute. They are so darn cute.
And then I came across, I didn't even realize I had these. So I have these like shells, which I know are going to be on their way to JJ because she rocks these chipboard shapes. So JJ, if you're listening, just DM me if you want these. I'll save them and I will send them to you. If not, then they're going in the giveaway box. So and they could be alphabets. These are basic gray alphabets. And one of the things I'm going to do, the reason why I kept the chipboard alphabets is I decided I really like, I like the new foiling that's out, and I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, that's going to be one of the techniques I'm trying this month, because I'm going to give myself a challenge every month we were talking about that too, is like what things have you bought of a technique that you haven't used? And so that's one of the things that I want to do is I want to do foiling, and I'm going to foil some chipboard alphabets. So I kept 2 sets of those. And, but anyway, back to the bonus project. This is a bonus project, and it's actually, I made it into like a little name card for my dining room table. I'm having some teenage girls over. We're doing a monthly Bible journaling session with 6 girls, and so I made these to put as place cards. So I'll put their name on them, and then in there I'll put like candy or whatever. so that a little treat box, they can take it home with them. So get them out. Yeah, I know, but Jess, I don't make cards. So if you didn't live in Canada, believe me, I would be shipping them to you, but I'm sure the shipping of chipboard would cost a fortune. So anyway, okay. Yeah, the Timmy grunge board paper shapes, I don't have too many of those left. But I had that same issue with the grunge board. However, I did use a lot of the grunge board that I bought. I did use a lot of that up. So I don't have too much. I have like one little stack of grunge paper. That's it.
If you guys are using the grunge board or chipboard, we can include grunge board in here too. And you've made things, I'm seeing some things like Jess said they're great on cards. Kay said she likes to use chipboard alphas when she's altering cigar boxes. A lot of people have ideas of how they use them. If you want to post those pictures to the Facebook group, that would be great. So if you have things that you make with chipboard, that would just be awesome.
So that's what I
said every month. And then Lisa had an idea of maybe we should all stream, do a video of a technique we're comfortable with, so that if it's something other people are thinking of trying or doing, they could cover it. Like I have a good example. I have a melting pot, a UT melting pot. I have UT. It's still in the box. I am afraid that if I use it, I will spill melting hot UT on my thigh. I just am. So I'm taking it out. But there might be someone who's really good with that who would inspire me to take the leap, right? So anyway, I thought that was a good idea.
She's making a fort on a chair with her chipboard. So okay, so anyway, yeah, people like to make their books from.
Hi, Julia.
Okay, so this is the deal. Hey, Laurel. We are on the Facebook group. I posted that you feel free to do a swap with somebody. Feel free to post that you want to do a swap, but you're holding the swap on your own. Start your own Facebook group swap, or private message somebody or whatever and do it. You're responsible for your own swap. So just saying, we're not going to be held responsible for any swaps gone bad. And I just don't have time to hold a swap. So, but you guys feel free to use that to post like, I want to do a swap. Anybody want to do a swap with me? And
that's a good idea, Laurel. Shoot, does this mean I have to go back in the trash and grab some of my chipboard?
No. Do it on the next prompt, Darcy. No going back in the trash. Once it's in the trash, it should be in the incinerator.
Send you a UT. This is so funny.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, so use the Facebook group to post that you want to do a swap with somebody, and set your own swap up, and that'd be great. You feel free to swap on there, but we're not doing any sales on the Facebook group. It's really to post encouragement, to post the prompts, to post ideas. So yeah, if you want to do that as we go through the process, and you want to do the maybe this month do the chipboard swap, hey, great, go for it. So anyway, so now we go down to.
I do. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea too. Cause hey, I've got like this huge box of chipboard, and I'm telling you what, I had like crazy amounts of chipboard. So, and you can see what I ended up limiting it to and how I stored it. I put that on the blog pictures. But what I had this big box, and I'm like, who wants all these chipboard shapes? So now I've got to the point where, okay, so then I had to sit and really think about it. And that's one of the prompts later on that I wrote about where I can. I took like 10 minutes, went online to find out who is in my area that like the art. There's like an art, a place that teaches art classes for kids here. It's within our community center. And so I put their number down, and I'll call them, the end of next week.
You gotta see some of these. Sherry says, "Don't send me chipboard, Jonna." And then let's see. Oh, Jeannie says, I plan to continue hoarding my small stash.
Hey, if you want to hoard, hoard away. I have stuff hoarded. Like I said, I said that earlier. You know, there are certain companies that I collect. I'm going to keep. I love it, and I use some of it, and some of it I don't. So, but anyway, then okay. So what's not working for me? This was it. Mind mapping here. I have way too much of it. I didn't realize it until I pulled it out, and that's part of the process. Pull it out. Admit you have too much, you know, whatever. Decide what you're going to do
You
with
are
it.
powerless over your chipboard addiction.
I now have power over my chipboard. Okay, so I found out that I don't use it. The only chipboard that I really use and have used are the 12 by 12 pieces of chipboard, because we do 3D projects. So that I knew I had to keep, because we do 3D projects. So I kept that. I kept some of the shapes because I want to try the foiling technique, and also I thought they'd be cute on the end of paper clips, so I can do some racks like on the end of paper clips. I could foil. If the foiling technique works out, great. If it doesn't, then I can always put glitter glue on and glitter them. That would be really cute, stuck on the end of a paper clip, and send it out as a rack. That's cheap.
Oh my gosh, just so you know, yeah, Stickles looks great on chipboard. I did a layout several years ago now where I took a piece of just a plain chipboard swirl and I covered it just in the platinum Stickles, and oh my goodness, it looks fantastic.
Dee Dee said, I'm the boss of my chipboard. I needed that. I know, I needed that on a t-shirt this week when I was going through my chipboard. Okay, then my other thing is, it was all over the place. I had chipboard everywhere. I had it in drawers. I had it in buckets. I had it in bins. I had it in the closet for overflow. All those chipboard little mini albums. Yeah, I had all those. Okay, so it was everywhere. Then I found out that I'm not making that many mini albums anymore. I had like
Judy just said it's a great thing for us to do. Oh, and Carrie, I think, had asked if we were still going to continue doing our projects. Yes, we are. And Jonna is spending some time on this because really this is going to be what we do every month. So she's kind of going through the drill now. But really, this is all based around, like the projects are based off of this stuff. So we're still continuing to make projects. And she has a project today. So we just wanted to go through this with you so you would understand the process. And I'll go through it a little more next month too when I have my show.
Right.
Okay,
so not making that many mini albums. Oh my goodness, Darcy, you know how many mini albums I had, like chipboard covered mini albums that were blank? Because back in the day, I used to go to Scrapbook Expo all the time, and Seven Gypsies was really big into those little cute mini albums, and they would stuff them and make them all fluffy and all layered and, do their whole, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Seven Gypsies, but you could probably Google them. They're probably still out there. But they had made like the cutest little mini albums. And then Rusty Pickle, same way, had mini albums, and those were fun. And
Laurel, thank you. Laurel just posted a swap on the Facebook group.
Comment
if you're interested.
Oh, awesome.
That is so great, Laurel. Thanks so much. I think that one of the things that's going to happen, and I'm writing all this stuff down, but I think this is a really good one, is the ideas that we're coming up with while we're discussing this as a group. So we've already talked about several ways to use these chipboard shapes that I wouldn't have thought of. And now I don't know if I'm going to go, and I said I'm pulling them out of the trash. They're actually in my donate box. But
no, don't do it.
Maybe I should go pull a couple of those back out.
No, don't do it.
I know. But I mean, it's nice to know that there are ways to use it, which is really what I think deep down inside is why we bought it. Right?
Eileen saying, don't talk about Seven Gypsies. Yes, I am vintage. We are vintage, Dee Dee. Okay, so that was one of the things I had to come to grips with. So I decided to limit myself to 12. So I chose 6 Seven Gypsy ones and 6 of the Rusty Pickle, and the rest I put in the donate pile. Okay, I don't really know what to do with it. And that's true. I had all these like these things. And that was where the mind mapping process came as far as what can you do with chipboard, right? So that was like these things. Oh my goodness. You should see, I have like a big giant bag. So I decided to save some of the shapes, however many fit in this little Maya Road little mini lunchbox. That's what I limited myself to. And so like there were these little cute tabs. How cute will these be to put in my planner? Because I'm doing a lot of planner right now. So those will be really cute to glitter and stick in there. And you know, stars and shapes and stuff like that. So but it was like, what do you do with this? Why do I have this? I don't even remember why I ended up with so many or how I ended up. I must have seen some kind of technique and forgot about it. So that was it. So
I saw a technique and forgot about it. That probably happens more than you know. Oh gosh.
I know. Oh, I know, Debbie.
Those little lunch boxes, LOL.
I know.
Eileen won a box like that full of chipboard in a chimney class. Eileen, now you know. You just don't foil it all.
Yeah, just foil it. Get out that deco art foil that you bought because you thought it was a cool technique and it's still sitting in the drawer. Okay.
Oh, I love my foil. Ever since I did that altered glove with the little mini album with the foil, oh my gosh, I foil my chipboard with the small ones. I haven't tried it on anything bigger.
So then I get to the need new techniques. I need new techniques for chipboard if I'm going to keep it. And that's where like, you know, the backs of these sheets or the margins, you can, if you print it out like this, then you can use that to come up with your ideas. And I'll ask Darcy what ideas she wrote.
Cover them in UT.
Yeah, exactly. UT. Okay, so then you get to the next, you'll get to the next page. And the next page is this one. And this is the use it or lose it page. Oh, did I put these? I put them in my book wrong. Okay. So the use it or lose it page looks like this. And it says common issues. Too many odd sizes. These are just some examples. Too many odd sizes. Chipboard's heavy and can take up a lot of space. But I already in my mind mapping came up with the reasons why my issue was. So use it or lose it. You're going to either make something with it, toss, sell, donate, or give away, or swap, and then what you need to buy. So if you discover that you don't have any chipboard and you want to start using chipboard because you saw a cute technique put in there, oh, I want more chipboard mini album shapes. Now go on to our Facebook group, see if anybody's swapping them. You don't necessarily have to buy. Maybe you can swap with somebody. Okay, so then what you can put is you might need to buy, I need storage for my 12 by 12 chipboard. But I found out on mine, I put make glitter chipboard shapes and alphas. I could use them as pocket letter filler, like they're cute to decorate pocket letters with because they're pretty low profile. I'm gonna donate. I'm donating it. Everything I got rid of, I'm donating it. And I had a huge box. Find someone else who will use it. Teachers, art school. And like I said, I looked up that there's a place that does we have a community center that has art classes for kids. So I'm going to call them. Okay, then I have buy. Nothing. Happy face. Yay. I didn't have to buy anything. I had the storage already. What I ended up using, I don't know if you can see this picture, was I had this green bin. All the 12 mini albums fit in the green bin that I kept. I had a drawer that I put my small shapes in. And you can't see here, but I had an 8x10 Heidi Swap paper organizer that stands up that I put all my my chipboard leftover pieces that I can use for binding mini albums like that, or I can use it for the small parts of our building. When we build something, sometimes I need those long strips. So I kept those. Okay, great. Linda opened, posted. That's awesome. Yeah, we have no selling on our Facebook group. If you want to sell your things, I'm sure there's other places where you can sell it. Yeah. So
yeah, there are several places already and some good ones. And so we thought we would put links on our thing with our heavy disclaimer that if something bad happens, we're not responsible. But there's some good sites out there already. We're just trying to keep it simple because it's a lot. It's a lot to maintain, and we want to interact with you guys, and we want to keep it really fun and post a lot of new things. So I think the simpler the actual structure is, the better it will be. Sarah just said something about, she does a really beautiful Coptic stitch journal. She does her own bookbinding and probably has some other things as well. I do have one session coming up on a particular bookbinding technique this year. However, what I want to say is, if any of you, like Sarah, say, oh, this would be a great way to use one of these products or use chipboard or whatever, stream it. And, we're happy to go ahead and link that or tell people about it on the Facebook group. I think it would be really fun. The more people we have involved in this, contributing, I think it would just be more fun. We're really doing it for fun.
Yeah, I agree. Linda Bobinda, or Linda Way Holloway, she just posted a teapot and teacup project that she did. So awesome.
Oh, great.
Okay, so then that's the use it or lose it page. Oh wait, project this month. The project this month that I'm going to be working on, and what we're doing a mono print. We're mono printing with the chipboard on for a tote bag, which I'm going to talk about in the next segment. Yes, just hang on, tote bag.
Debbie said that they did a pizza box swap. Well, they kind of did it, a traveling pizza box. They put their unwanted supplies in a pizza box, sent it to the first person who had to replace the same amount of items they pulled out, and sent it to the next person.
Oh, that's so cool. And then you put in more stuff into it for the next person?
Yeah, like you take out maybe the 5 or 10 things you wanted, put in the 5 or 10 things, and send it on its way.
Oh, that is so smart. I think she needs to do that on our Facebook group. You should organize that, Debbie, for us. That'd be awesome.
Carrie, yeah, we're going to put links to sites that are already doing a good job with selling. And I think one of the advantages of that is there are people that are looking and they know to go look there. So I think you'll have a better market. My thought right now is we all have a lot of stuff, and I don't know, I know maybe a couple people that would like to get things, and if you would, please send an email to ScrappyCamperSisters@gmail.com, because we would want to know. I mean, we really want to know if there are people out there who need supplies, because I think, part of the issue we have is everybody has too much. So that's kind of part of the rationale.
Well, instead of a pizza box, we could always do the $12, although it'd be US only. The $12 box. So you could.
I know, Deb. I'm trying not to put your whole name out there. I don't know if people, people like that. So.
Okay. So anyway, then you have a little area for the premium project, and this month's premium project, which was our personal party favors, which was the tea party theme, which I showed you, was the little box. And then the next page is for storage ideas. Standing metal file, a square bin, vintage magazine, rack, and then you can put yours in that spot. And what I did was I had a bin for mini albums, a magazine 8x10 paper holder, a drawer for small shapes contained in the bags. And that's what I decided how I wanted to do it, and so I wrote that down. This next part is sketch it out. You can sketch out. Darcy, you want to explain the sketch out part? Because I didn't do the sketch out. I just kind of wrote down my thoughts. And so I wrote, my style of crafting has changed tremendously over the years. I haven't bought or used chipboard in a long time, in over 10 years. Why have I kept it? For those one day I might need to make a gift. Well, if I made all the albums or covered all those chipboard shapes, I don't have that many friends or that much time. Don't buy it. You don't use it. So that's kind of what I had to tell myself. Don't buy chipboard anymore. You don't use it. Like chipboard shapes and mini albums and that. You don't use it. So that was kind of, this I used more as my confession spot instead of sketching it. But you can talk about sketching it.
On a couple of them, I wrote discoveries instead of sketch it out. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just do discoveries / sketch it out, so that as you make, because I think part of this journey is making these discoveries so that you don't make the same mistakes, right? And so we all have a limited amount of time and a limited amount of funds, and we want to focus that in the right areas so that we're having the most fun with our creative time. And so that was kind of the idea, like, what discoveries did you have along the way? Sketch it out primarily would be for things like, for example, I have those recollections cubes from Michaels. I love my cubes. Carrie, hi! I love my cubes. And so for my sketch it out, for one of them is going to be, okay, how am I going to set up that set of cubes? And what am I going to put in which one? So that's kind of what I was using that for. Or sketch out a storage idea. What if you get an idea, like Jean, musical scrapper, and Jen, Ozzygram, they make their own storage pieces. What if you come up with an idea for a storage piece? Sketch it out there. That's what that's for. It's for you to draw, put your ideas down, that kind of thing.
Right. So I just did my discoveries on that section, but this is also good. The grid is also good. You could do a layout of your scrap area. I know some people have been posting on Facebook that they're getting ready to redo their whole entire craft room. They're moving their craft room or whatever. So use this time now to say, okay, this is how much square footage I have. What's my main focus? Do I need more depth? Like, what's not working in the space that I have right now? Do I need more tabletop space? Okay, sketch that out. I have a 10 by 9 room. How much of this do I want to give to table space? Where do I want my chair? Where do I want my, I have a television. Some people like the television, some people like the laptop. You could use that to sketch your space out in. And then the next page is going to be the before and after. And there are other pages that are in the ebook that we haven't included in the printout. But this is before and after photo, a place for you to put your before and your after photo, which is what I did right here. I did a before of my mound of chipboard. Of course, I had to cut it down. For some reason, my printer printed out this way and not this way. I don't know why, but anyway, it did. And then after. So I was like, I can go back and look. Yeah, Johnny, you really did have a problem. And so I'm like, don't buy anymore. And then I go, oh, look how I accomplished it. Look how good it looks afterward. And this is where it is, So anyway, that's kind of, that was the process. So I'm going to stop my recording here and I'm going to take a little break and we'll come back with our project for January, which is mono printing a tote bag for our Come Clean 2016. And I'll go in and I will explain that on the next recording.